Ahoy, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the BBC Spews Live on the 21st of October. Huzzah! Who's in? Let's have a quick look. Willie and Cords is in now then. Carl Burton's in. Sensible gentleman indeed. Mark Cox, Ron Morgan, Whiskey Straight Al, hope you're doing all right. Laxi M, Danny Ashton, Jeff Wedden. Who else? Pietro Smoosey. You must be new, Pietro. I don't think we've spoken. How are you doing? Andy Horsfall, Ron Morgan, Mark Cox, Mungo. Who else? Any new ones? Colin Water, Slim, Matt McCoy. Absolutely Average is in now then. Angela Wheeler, Mike Holiday, and Pietro, it is first. Well, we all have to start somewhere, Pietro. This, before I start on the BBC, I'm just going to cover this briefly because it's not on the BBC, which is sort of weird considering, you know, it's called the BBC Spews. But I want to talk about it anyway because it's funny. That's why. It's funny and it involves Victoria's Secret. I mean, listen, I'm not a marketing executive or the CEO of a major company, but I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe if the primary product you sell is lingerie, you shouldn't be trying to force blokes to watch big fat hoppers dancing around on a stage, a fucking titanium reinforced stage, and calling it sexy because you're a delusional left-wing ideologue and you think the human is infinitely malleable. And if you tell everyone that big, fat, howling munters are sexy, apparently they are. Apparently they are. What's going on with that rug? What rug? You mean my thick, lustrous, manly locks? Surely you're not talking to me. You must have. Are you watching a different bootneck? You stop modelling for them out of principle. Yeah, I think I'd rather look at Ron's fucking wiry pubes than whoever it is they've got on Victoria's Secret stage at the minute. Anyway, the short version of this story is, I'm sure you're all aware that Victoria's Secret have started doing that. Well, they announced a mere 3 days ago that they were ditching wokeness and bringing back sexy, because obviously you're all aware that that's what they started doing. They started saying, oh, sexy women are sexist. So what you should do is you should all like fat howling birds instead. And funny old thing, it didn't go down too well. Look at that. XL. Oop. So they announced that only a few days ago. And lo and behold, the big story today was this one. Stock soars 15% in 5 days after ditching wokeness. So you don't even have to actually do anything tangible. You just have to say you're ditching it and the stock goes up straight away because everybody's like, we don't want to see massive honking heffalumps fucking apple bobbing on the catwalk, on the titanium reinforced catwalk. So, that's a good idea, isn't it? Everyone, the thing I find baffling about it is the get woke, go broke thing has been like a mantra by normal people for like at least 3 or 4 years. And they insisted on doing it anyway. I would assume it was almost like illegal, definitely immoral. Because if you're a CEO, you have a sort of responsibility to your shareholders. And Victoria's sponges. Yeah, that's good. Victoria, very, very apt. That's a good one. But don't you think you have a responsibility to shareholders like Disney? If you own shares in Disney, you must have spent the last 5 years pulling your hair out because you knew what was coming. We know what happens when you go walk, and they did it anyway. It's like, do they have to lose billions of dollars before they learn the lesson? So literally 5 days after telling people, didn't do anything, didn't embark on a campaign, literally just said, okay, the wokeness shit's not working. Let's get rid of that. 15% up the shares have gone up. I mean, I'm showing you this because it actually has a link to the video on one of these stories. Where is it? Oh, here we are. This one. It has a link. So out of grim amusement, I'm going to show you the Independent's page because the Independent linked to their Instagram video. First of all, fucking this honking bit of kit. That just looks like a bloke, doesn't it? A fucking bloke with a brown. And shit tattoos. What is it with like, they're definitely, it's part of the strategy, isn't it, where they've decided that being attractive is like patriarchy. So they purposely make themselves look fucking shitty. Like, why do they have shocking tattoos? My fucking old man has a Borstal tattoo that looks better done than the shit she's got written on. Look at that. Like, what does it say? Mamas on a wrist and a big W, probably for woman. And the state that I'm guessing she's from. That must be, what does it look like? I don't know. Oregon? Fuck knows. What a honking bit of kit. So I don't know what that's all about. Purposely making people look fucking ugly. But the best thing is, look at that. See, that's the good old days, lads. The good old days. And they keep saying it's all white. Everyone, oh, it's patriarchy, everyone's white. Well, the one on the left looks like she's not white, is she? And, oh, yeah. Asians, that's why they call Asians Schrodinger's minority. Because when it suits them, Asians are a oppressed minority. But the second it doesn't suit them, Asians are basically white people. Yeah. Schrodinger's minority. That's what the Asians are. Because apparently this story says, oh, yeah. It says right up here. They said, oh, there's too many white people. It says, where is it? Just above the... here we are. The reboot is part of a larger strategy. Because it says... The lingerie band ditched its glamorous catwalks and signature angels in 2018, promoted a more diverse array of female ambassadors, including Indian and fucking howling bull dyke. And they said, oh, there's too many white people. Well, they're not all white, are they? And she's white, but she doesn't count as white. Because this is what, it's obvious to anyone with half a brain cell. This is what I'm telling you. It's about your ideology, because she's as fucking white as me, and she's not white. You know what I mean? They say, oh, no, there's you two, Victoria's Secret's too white. Well, is she not white? Like, she's definitely not white because she's got the right opinions, right? It's just proof of what I'm talking to you about. It's politics, pure politics. When it suits them, she's not whiter. They said, oh, there's too many white people, but Megan Rapinoe's sound. So, all right then. And this woman who looks Brazilian or something, it's clearly mixed race in the middle there. Sorry, second from the left. She's definitely not white. And the Chinese bird, she looks pretty not white to me. But apparently in clown world, if you walk and left wing, this fucking mad cunt is black as the ace of spades, right? Yeah, she's as black as a fireback, right? Therefore, looks like fucking Grace Jones there. There's Grace Jones. And this Chinese, she's definitely white. And this Brazilian, she's definitely white. And this jet black-haired thing might be Persian. Nah, she's definitely white. They're all white. All six of them, they're all white. Yeah, easy. Everyone knows that. Yeah, easy. Grace Jones, Megan Rapinoe, Chinese, white. And then this is the funny bit. Look at this. So I'm going to show you exactly why the revenue tanked, because this is the last advert before the money men said, here, lads, I think we best change direction here because people are not happy buying lingerie when they think some fucking land mammal was wearing it. So basically, a dugong was wearing these knickers. I don't want to buy them for my missus. Look, Victoria's Secret changed.
It's all of our responsibility.
I can't believe that. How do you rewind? Was it actually a fat bird in a wheelchair? The stuff I say for fun, for like a joke, comes true. I always say Victoria's Secret, fat bird in a wheelchair. That's what they put up straight away. A fat bird in a wheelchair. Again, there's nothing wrong with being fat and in a wheelchair, but it's a model, isn't it? It's a model. I couldn't be a male model, and I'm not terrible looking, I'm just not male model looking because I'm in my 40s. I've got a male pattern baldness and love handles. So I'm not howling. I couldn't be a male model. I don't look at the Calvin Klein. And it only happens with women, doesn't it? They don't say, like 99% of men haven't got a six-pack. And they don't go, fucking hell, look at them Calvin Klein ads. I want to see a fucking keg on them Calvin Klein. I want to see a fat, specky virgin with love handles on a Calvin Klein advert. Why is it only birds? I can't believe they had Fatty in a wheelchair on a fucking lingerie model. Anyway, let's keep going. Well, I don't even know what this is. This looks like a trans to me. Is that a bloke with tits? Maybe it is.
To do something to make the world a better place.
Welcome.
Oh, one of them's up the duff as well. That's it. Aren't perverts the ones that like watching that stuff? One of them's up the fucking duff. I don't want to watch up the duff. I don't want to watch up the duff models either. I mean, she's not bad looking, but I don't just... You want attractive people to be models, right? Not people that are up the duff or gingers.
You're accepted.
Oh my God, is that an actual Downy model? I've definitely joked about that as well. I'm sure I've joked about fat birds in wheelchairs and Downies being Victoria's Secret models. And it comes true. Everything I say comes true. I'm like a visionary genius. Everything I say whilst taking the piss in clown world comes true. I'll just come up with something mental and it'll happen. Well, what's absolutely mental? What's going to come up next? Burger model. That's fucking. Let's see. Abu Hamza in a fucking bikini. Right. This is what I'm praying for now. Abu Hamza in a bikini. Abu Hamza in a bikini. Let's see what happens. Hook-handed cleric fucking lingerie model. Jesus Christ.
Good here. No matter
She's fucking weird looking.
what you think you're supposed to do.
Fucking pensioner. These are all jokes I've cracked before. I've said, page 3 girl, Downy, fatty in a wheelchair, geriatric. It's fucking burger model. Yeah, burger models pop up next. We'll see. Watch. Terrorist fucking Osama bin Laden in a fucking G-string. Soon, next picture, Osama bin Laden in a G-string. Let's have a look.
Do or look like, or how your body's supposed to be, or how you're supposed to talk.
I hate her. And she's dressed like a bloke. My fucking granddad's got that shirt. In fact, has she been raiding the bins out the back of my house? That's my fucking granddad's shirt. When my granddad kicked the bucket, I'm sure we binned that fucking shirt, and she pulled it out of the wheelie bin. So it turns out Megan Rapinoe is combing the wheelie bins of Middlesbrough, the thieving bitch. You're a professional footballer. Can you afford to fucking buy your own clothes instead of robbing my fucking bins? I'm muted. Yep, that's up next. Shake those sexy stumps. Yeah, brilliant.
You're welcome here.
You're welcome here. That is, I can't believe that. I cannot believe that one. Let me just pause it on that. I want it play again. Well, watch again on Instagram. Fuck off. I don't want to watch it on Instagram. What's this pop-up for? Piss off.
It's a bit too restricted.
Yeah. No, don't bombard me with fat women. I don't want to see them. We now know beauty was always yours to define. We don't know that. You can insist it all day long, but that's bollocks. You can't. This is what I'm saying. It's a political ideology that you think you can just fucking decide stuff, and it's true. I've told you like this before. Apologies if you've listened to me for years, because I made a video about this. It's wrong. It is factually incorrect to say that the only reason men like Victoria's Secret models more than fat birds who hang out in Greggs, right, is because of social construct. It's not social construct. It's hardwired biological facts. It's not social construct. Men look at women from Victoria's Secret and find them attractive because every marker that the chimps use to determine whether someone will be a good partner and give you healthy offspring is every box is ticked. They've got nice, healthy skin. They're not green. They're not fucking sickly, jaundiced, yellow. They're not spotty. They haven't got boils and fucking warts. They have a lithe, athletic physique, so they look physically fit. They look like they could run fast, climb a fucking tree if a bear was going to eat them. I mean, it's literally this basic. I know this having only GCSE, a D in biology from GCSE. Like, it's not yours to define. It's not. It's hardwired like a chimpanzee. Yes, it does. Fit really does mean fit. Fit. And that's why women don't like fat, clammy blokes either. It works both ways. They say it's like the patriarchy. Women don't like howling fat blokes with 10 chins that look like fucking neck beard. You know, the meme, you are my wow password. Remember that guy? Big fat neck beard with loads of spots and big thick glasses. Because they look at it and they go, yeah, this thing will not provide me with healthy offspring. It's literally that simple. So when they say we now know that beauty was always yours to define, it's bollocks. It's bollocks. It's not always yours to define. You are hardwired like a monkey. It's the same thing. Think of it this way. Here's a good explanation. It's why pies taste better than celery, right? Because celery's got hardly any calories in it. So when food was scarce, scarcity was the order of the day. If celery tasted amazing and you come across a fucking field of it, you just, oh, this is great. This tastes marvelous. I'll just stay here. Well, you'd starve to death, wouldn't you? You're trained to fucking seek out the things that'll keep you alive for a long time, which is dense, nutritionally dense foods, things that have got loads of fat and loads of sugar, and they'll keep you around, won't they? And that's why Brussels sprouts and celery and fucking lettuce aren't as enjoyable as fucking steak and kidney pudding, right? Ben and Jerry's ice cream, Twixes, whatever the fuck else you want. Monkeys in the wild kill each other for honey. I remember seeing David Attenborough talking about it. If a bunch of fucking bonobos come across a beehive, they go mental because they're like, yeah, this shit has got lots and lots of calories in it. We're trained to be that way, and now food's not scarce. It's killing us, unfortunately, isn't it? Because now we can have as much food as we like, and that's why we're in a fucking obesity epidemic, because there's scran everywhere, and we don't want to eat celery. We don't. We still want to eat the high value stuff. That's how women and men are. Women aren't conditioned from a young age to find six packs sexy and fucking fat asses unsexy. It's simple biology. So it's such bollocks. We know beauty was always yours. It wasn't. We are forced into it by our chimp brains. And yeah, I mean, think of it this way. Look at, right? I'm not having a pop. Fat bird in a wheelchair. I mean, she's not even that fat, really. I'm being childish. But it's a disability, isn't it? Like, some part of your brain is going to be like, this is going to be a burden on the tribe. You know, like the fucking Native Americans, when they got too old, they used to just send them off into the wilderness, right? When they couldn't walk, they used to go, oh, our old granddad's 73 now and he can barely keep up with the fucking people. So you send them into the wilderness to die on their own, don't you? When you get a fat lass in a wheelchair, your monkey brain doesn't go, she'll provide me with perfectly healthy offspring, does it? Rightly or wrongly, your monkey brain says, kids will end up kids have got wheels. Kids have got wheels, right? It's normal. I'm not even taking the piss out of that. Obviously, I'm not taking the piss out of disabled people, but you know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It all makes sense if you're just a man of science. Not Fauci science, foreskin face Fauci, the little fucking meatball-headed poison dwarf. Actual science. Like, look at, I can't believe the amount of perverts here who are like, oh yeah, I'd rag this disabled bird all over. So, you get what I'm saying? There's some part of your brain that doesn't like out of the ordinary. So if it's mega fat, if it's got a wonky face, if it's got teeth like a fucking witch doctor's necklace, if it's got skin like porridge, jaundiced, green, very, very fat, very, very thin. If it's proper a fucking sack of bones, like it looks like it's barely alive, staggering towards you with paper-thin parchment-like skin and weighs about fucking 4 stone, you're not going to go, oh, yeah, well sexy. Well sexy. So it's not just being fat, is it? Yeah, I know I do. But to be honest, Ragnar, I'm not after shagging you, am I? Balding, middle-aged Ulstermen are not my cup of tea, Ragnar. And if I give you the wrong idea and you thought our relationship was good somewhere, I'm sorry to shoot you down in flames. Balding 50-year-old men with wheels. Not my cup of tea, Raggy. I'm sorry, mate. I'm a married man. So you get what I'm saying? It's just nature. And there's no need to make out as if you're having a pop at anyone. Because you're not, are you? Joking aside, I'm not having a pop at the fucking slightly overweight bird in a wheelchair at all. But we don't have to lie about it, do we? And this is the other thing. Ragnar brings up a good point. Normal humans, they're okay with a bit of joshing, bit of laughing and joking. Nothing wrong with us all. Fucking hell, now Stuart's got a tip on his shoulder. There's nothing wrong with Ulsterman. I'm just saying I don't want to fucking diddle any of you, all right? I don't want to plunge into an Ulsterman's cinnamon ring at any point. I nearly said this weekend. Ever. I've got nothing against Ulsterman. I just don't want to bounce on an Ulsterman's shit locker, all right? It's totally normal. And it's what I'm saying. Everyone's got a fucking sense of humour. No one would take it offensive anyway. People in wheelchairs, people make jokes. Ricky Gervais does it all the time. As usual with jokes, it's always the people that aren't the thing that get offended, isn't it? Slightly racist jokes, slightly sexist jokes, slightly anything, any type of jokes, disabled jokes, handicapped jokes, any fucking thing. It's never the people that are actually the thing that get that offended. It's always able-bodied, straight, white, middle-class fucking Guardian readers. They're the ones who get offended on behalf of everyone. I'm convinced at this point, it's everyone. It's not even like just gay people or black people. It's them. The archetype for getting offended on the behalf of blacks, disabled, downs, handicapped, stumpy, fucking ugly, manky teeth, gingers, everything. It's like a relatively attractive, able-bodied, 28-year-old, middle-class fucking Guardian reader from the home counties. They complain about everything. Actual black and brown and Mexican and disabled and everybody else are happy to have a chuckle with you. John Cleese made a great point when he was on Bill Maher's show, I think it was, and he said that he was like, I'll start taking the piss out of like a Frenchman using stereotypes. Oh, yeah, you're all fucking whatever. And everyone laughs. Oh, cheese-eating surrender monkeys. Heh. And we all make jokes about the German. And you're like, the Germans shit on each other's heads. That's funny. Germans do that. British people have got bad teeth, or all Irish or all alcoholic. Scotsmen, fucking hell, where do you start with Scotsmen? They're like an amalgamation of all the worst things in the British Isles, aren't they? The average Scotsman appears to be fat, drunk, and toothless, and shag the wildlife. That's basically all 4 stereotypes from the UK fucking rolled into one. And yeah, I love having a pop with the Scots because the Jocks versus the Geordies. I'm a big believer in the old comic book rivalries. And it's just fine. Take the piss out of all the Europeans. The French do this. The Germans do this. The Spanish do this. The Italians do this. And then he said, but if I go, oh yeah, and then the Mexicans, all of a sudden everyone goes, ooh, I can't have a pop at the Mexicans. And you're like, why? I have a pop at the Irish and the French and the Spanish and the Scottish, but I can't have a pop at the Mexicans. Why? Who decided they haven't got a sense of humor? I've never, ever met a fucking Mexican that hasn't got a good sense of humor. The only people that get offended by sombreros and Speedy Gonzales are middle-class Guardian reading wankers. 100%. You will not find a single Mexican who gets pissed off about fucking Speedy Gonzales. I guarantee you that. I fucking guarantee you that. Oh my God, a Scottish monkey hanger. It gets no worse. I'd rather go for a pint with fucking Bill Cosby, Robert, and I'll let him mix the drinks as well. I'll let him mix the drinks. He'll be in me by 11 o'clock. So yeah, you know what I mean? Just you take the piss out of everyone. The idea that the Mexicans can't take it, it's almost, you know how they say it's the soft racism of low expectations. It's almost offensive, isn't it? If I was a Mexican, I'd be well pissed off if I knew that comedians take the piss out of like everybody else. Comedians take the piss out of the French and the Germans and the Spaniards, but then they don't dare pick on me because I'm a Mexican. I'd feel like genuinely humiliated. I'd be the same if I was black. I'd be genuinely annoyed by woke left-wing twats. That's probably why so many of them started turning over to Trump, isn't it? Because it's the soft bigotry of low expectations. It must be really, really irritating and annoying and offensive if you're black and you think everybody's constantly tiptoeing around you because you're a pussy. Like, I'd take it personal because I'm a masculine man. I'm a manly man. It's not something I'm particularly proud of, really. The fact that I'm sort of almost childishly obsessed with not looking like a pathetic loser. I mean, that's who I am. I mean, my missus has pointed out it's not something to be proud of, really. I'm very bothered about what people think of me when it comes to masculinity. I don't want people to think I'm a fucking pansy, right? I'm the type of bloke, like, even if something did upset me, I wouldn't admit it. I don't cry in public. If I really need to cry, although I'm not even making it up, I haven't for decades. I don't even. Maybe it's when I got my dog put down last time I cried, and only when I was by myself. Got it put down. No people in public. No, you lock yourself in your house by yourself. Then you do it. No one sees it. I'm a big believer in it. Stiff upper lip, stoicism. Yeah, there's probably negatives to it if you go too far, right? I'll concede the point. But because of that, I'd be fucking mortified. If I was black or brown and I thought people were constantly treading on eggshells around me, I'd be fucking mortified because it is the worst. To me, that would be the worst thing ever. I guess I'm glad I'm not as black as an Alabama crow because I'd be pissed off if I was a black dude and I just thought everybody was being a fucking fanny around me all the time. It really, really annoyed me because I'd be like, oh my God, everybody in this room thinks I'm a fucking pussy. Do Palestine blast babies, but no, they don't. I'd be lying if I said that. I mean, I've got the normal human range of empathy, so I don't particularly try to watch it all the time. I try to be blissfully ignorant of that stuff. It's boring, but it doesn't bother me that much just because I feel like all those people are indoctrinated from a young age, and I think that essentially, as I said in one of my videos, getting upset about Israelis and Palestinians murdering each other is like getting upset about the fucking sun shining. That's been such a normal thing for decades. It's almost like I'm immunized against it now. So no, it doesn't bother me that much. And if it did, I wouldn't tell you because I'm not a fucking fanny. Oh yeah, and then there's one last story I'm going to cover before I do the BBC. Because it's related to what we've... Let's get rid of the disabled bird. Let's get rid of her. Emily Blunt. Here we go. Emily Blunt apologises for fat-phobic comments made on the Jonathan Ross show in 2012. Let's see how horrific these comments were, shall we? Oh, no, there's no clip. Yeah, all right. Anyway, I guess y'all read it then. So it said, in a resurfaced clip from the Jonathan Ross show, first broadcast in 2012. So it's 11 years ago, this story, and now they think it's important. 11 years ago. It says, the first broadcast in September 2012, the 40-year-old actress referred to a waitress who served her at a Chili's restaurant as enormous. The comments were part of a story she told about the waitress. She said, the girl who was serving me was enormous. I think she got freebie meals at Chili's. Ross said, nothing wrong with that. She said, the worker asked her, did anyone tell you you look like Emily Blunt? The waitress soon realised she was actually speaking to Blunt, who explained she was in the area for filming. In a statement to People magazine, she said her jaw was on the floor when she watched the clip. I'm appalled I would say something so insensitive hurtful and unrelated to whatever story I was trying to tell. So she just said a fact. I was talking to a fat bird. Is that the end of the world? It would have been bad if she said, I was talking to a fat bird and I really, really hate fat people. And I think we should just grind them into paste and feed them to prisoners. Yeah, that if you're 50 pounds or more overweight, I think that we should put you under a steamroller, reduce you into a nice, what do chefs call it? A reduction. I think if you're over 50 pounds, we should reduce you. We should flatten you completely, run you over the steamroller, turn you into a nice calorie-rich reduction, and then feed you intravenously to convicts on death row. That would be worth crying about. But pulling out a fucking 12-year-old story and saying it's horrendously rude and vile because she said the waitress was enormous. If you're morbidly obese, you are enormous to most people. So I don't see why that is the most offensive thing in the world. And again, I bet you the fat bird from the story isn't offended. I bet you she's not sat at home, right? She'll be troughing, won't she? She'll be troughing. Sat at home, yeah, eating a whole Battenberg. Yeah, she doesn't cut it, doesn't slice it, just gets the old Mr. Kipling straight out of the cellophane. Just fucking eats it like a large cod, just a Battenberg, right? Gone. She doesn't dust the Battenberg crumbs off her front and go, fucking hell, Emily Blunt. Oh, no, she'd have a mouthful. Emily Blunt, and I'm enormous. I'm fucking outraged. Beep, boop, beep, beep. Uses the dialing one. Yeah, she needs a pen. Fat fingers don't work the phone. Beep, boop, bap, beep, beep. I want to talk to Emily Blunt. Why? Says I'm enormous. Oh, are you? Well, yeah. Yeah, need a dialing one to phone. Fingers like fucking Greg's sausage rolls. Of course she's not offended. If you've got an arse like the back end of a fucking London bus, do you get offended if someone calls you enormous? This is what I'm talking about. It's other people getting offended on their behalf. Fat birds know the fat. My brother's quite fat. He's like, all bought and paid for. You know, it doesn't bother him. You say, fucking hell, JT, that's my brother. Fucking hell, you got a bit of a kite on you, haven't you? He doesn't go, well, I never. Oh. No, he's like, aye, all bought and paid for. Fuck off. You know. Aye, Parmos, nice one. 12 pints of bitter. Fucking do one. It doesn't upset them. I guarantee the fat bird in this story is not bothered. So what a load of shit. She's just sat at home eating mayonnaise straight from the jar with a fucking dessert spoon. Onk, onk, onk. Oh, Emily Blunt remembers me. How nice. Onk, onk. Done. Nobody's upset. Nobody's upset. She'll be like, oh, that was a nice story. It can give me some nice memories while I wait for the fucking fire department to take the roof off so they can crane me out of the fucking living room to get me into the hospital for my 4th artery cleaning of the week. It's such bollocks. Nobody gives a fuck. This is a non-story. 12 years ago, she called someone enormous. Horrific. It's horrific, that, isn't it? No, it's not. If Fatty doesn't care, why do you? Buffalo Arse doesn't care, so why do you? Just forget about it. Fuck me. They do, yeah. They do, though, don't they? They do. No one gets fat behind their own back. That's what Ricky Gervais said on one of his stand-ups. He said, you don't go into the doctor and say, all right, doc, how you doing? And the doc's like, yeah, you're a bit of a fat cunt, aren't you? I don't know how else to put it. You need to lose at least 5 clem. And the fat bloke's like, no. I thought it was the perfect weight. What are you talking about? No one gets fat behind their own back. And you know what makes you fat as well. He says that, you know, the doctor doesn't say, oh, you need to lose 5 stone. And you go, oh, fucking hell, I knew I shouldn't have done all that jogging. Oh, what? Was it all that time on the fucking rowing machine, was it? I knew I shouldn't have fucking... You're there eating a Greg's in the waiting room. That's how they eat on the, like a woodpecker with a steak bake. Gone. Was it all that walking? I fucking knew I shouldn't have had that lettuce and went for that walk. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. They know the fact. They don't care. Middle class Guardian readers that are skinny, they're the ones who care. So fucking shut up. All right. Anyway, it's like half an hour I've talked about fat people. Let's get rid of it. Let's do the BBC story I want to talk about, which is oh fuck, it's disappeared. Oh, here we are. Here we are. You'll love this one because I've made a video about this fucking dippy bint. Look. Right. Here's my favourite. Fucking wonky faced Mariana. How to spot disinformation on social media. You know what's good about this one, right? Let me just try and get a nice sized picture. There we are. What's good about this one is it's the most obvious BBC propaganda I've ever seen. John. Yeah, well, that's another thing in it. My Body Temple is reopened as a kebab shop. I'm sure half the people in the chat have got a bit of extra timber. 60% of us are overweight nowadays. I'm overweight. Got a fucking paunch. It's like, it's one of them things. Nobody's upset. It's fine. Who gives a fuck? If the fatties don't care, I don't know why the Guardian reader's upset about it. Anyway, this is a classic example of commie propaganda. Because what they do is, they lie to you all year. All fucking year, they lie to you. And then they run a story. Yeah, she did. Remember that? I made a video about it. Yeah, she lies. She lies. She's a fucking proven liar. A liar. Don't say disinformation, misinformation. She's a fucking liar. Lies like a hairy egg. Lies like a Chinese Rolex. Whatever you want to use. Whatever analogy you want to use. Fucking lying bastard. If Mariana burst into flames and sprinted past my house, towering conflagration, and said to me, it's a bit warm outside, I wouldn't fucking believe her. I'd be like, nah, I'm not having it. She's freezing her tits off. Fucking smouldering, right? I walked past a smouldering corpse and still think she was lying to me. So what they do is they lie to you all year round, and then they make this dog shit 2-minute story saying, this is how you spot disinformation. Just look how fucking bad this is, and look how obvious the bollocks they tell you. Because this doesn't mean it's not a story, it's just propaganda. The things they tell you are so mind-meltingly obvious that a fucking 90-year-old, you know, like old people always get scammed. They're the ones who, even they know this shit. It's like elementary. But if they can do a 2-minute puff piece pretending that they're actually bothered about lies, then they can go back to lying. And stupid people will trust the BBC because they'll go, oh, the BBC told me how to spot lies and disinformation. So the BBC don't lie. And the BBC lie constantly. This is just a puff piece with the most obvious shit on it ever. So let's watch it. Just look how fucking daft it is. And I'll provide some commentary.
Social media has been flooded with pictures and videos of people caught up in the Israel-Hamas conflict. There's lots of misleading and false claims and conspiracy theories too. So how can you tell what's real?
Most of them peddled by the fucking BBC, obviously.
And what's fake on your timeline? Here are some tips. Look for clues. The weather, time of day, and geographical locators can all help determine whether something's real. Plus,
yeah, look for clues like the weather. So if they say, oh, here we are in the Gaza Strip, and look at this, there's someone getting a good shoe-in, and it's pissing down with rain, and gloomy grey skies, and the fucking Tyne Bridge is behind you. Yeah, they're in Newcastle. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. If they say, look at this Palestinian being beaten senseless by these 3 Jews, and they're all wearing Middlesbrough Football Club jerseys, and one of them who's doing the shoe-in is shouting, have it, ya bastard. And there's a transporter bridge in the background, then they're in Middlesbrough, right? It's easy to... If there is a toothless, flea-bitten, one-eyed prostitute sucking a postal worker's cock behind the person being assaulted, they're over the border in Middlesbrough. So yeah, good one, that. Thanks for letting us know about the clues, you fucking idiot.
plus the quality of the footage itself. This account suggests this is a clip of Israeli helicopters being shot down by Hamas. But check out the footage. It's quite grainy. Could it be computer generated? An image search online reveals this.
Right, if you see that, where is it? If you see that footage and you think that's real imagery of Israeli helicopters being shot down by Hamas, you are a fucking maniac. It is so obvious, obviously a video game. My nana, bless her, would have knew that was a fucking computer game. And she doesn't even know what a computer game is. I think the last one she saw was Pac-Man. And she would see that and go, yeah, that's a lot of shite. It doesn't even look remotely real. 2 helicopters of Israel shot down by Hamas. Fuck me. So, yeah, they're telling you the most obvious shit ever so I can pretend that they're a font of knowledge when basically they lie to you for a living.
Israeli helicopters being shot down by Hamas. But check out the footage. It's quite grainy. Could it be computer generated? An image search online reveals this is actually from a computer game.
This man, he looks like he appears to be an android with no eyebrows or hair. But if you look closely, it's actually footage from the film RoboCop. See how the gun pops out of his leg and leaps into his hand whilst he shoots 50 caliber rounds at a melting ginger man. And when he gets hit by the car, he bursts instantaneously and his organs have all turned into green snot. It's actually from the film RoboCop. I bet you never knew that, did you? You thought it was fucking live footage from Palestine, but it wasn't. It was a film, yeah. And if you see any fucking skeletal metallic cyborgs running through a metal manufacturing place, a blast furnace, and it gives you the thumbs up while it's going down into the fucking lava. Right? It's not in Palestine either. Yeah. I mean, I could go all day. This footage of a Jew in sunglasses being carried down the beach by a wounded Israeli soldier being carried down the beach by 2 other Israeli soldiers is actually Weekend at Bernie's. The Israeli soldiers don't wear Hawaiian shirts, and when they're folding the wounded Israeli soldier into the fucking 4-foot fridge, it's actually because they're trying to hide Bernie before the hitman arrives. It's fucking, yeah, what a load of bollocks. Anyway, yeah, brilliant.
Armour 3. Question the source. If you look at the account that shared that,
the first good advice they've given us all day: question the fucking source. Yeah, question the source. And if it says BBC in the top corner, don't believe a fucking word they're telling you. Especially if it's a wonky-faced lying slut like Mariana fucking Lorracock. Don't listen to her. She's a lying bitch, and the company she works for is full of lying bastards and pedos. If the newsreader has just had to bat a 14-year-old boy's cock out of his mouth so he can finish the broadcast, you are watching the BBC and you shouldn't trust them.
Clip. First, check the location. It looks like it's based in India, not in the Middle East, so unlikely to have filmed the video. Also ask, is this user an authority on the subject? What's their profession? Previous posts shared by this user also...
What's their profession? Like Mariana thinks she's a fucking authority on the subject. Oh, what's their authority on the subject? What's their profession? You're a disinformation reporter and all you do is lie, you fucking harpy. Yeah, I don't, the only person whose profession I want to question is yours and the professional paedophiles that work for the BBC. And that's not on the job description. It's fucking...
reveal more about their own biases and possible intentions. You might also wonder, is the user a bot? If a profile is sharing all kinds of divisive and conflicting information all at once, that could be a clue it's fake, but it's often really hard to tell. Find out if it's been shared before. This video falsely suggests Palestinian people were faking their injuries in Gaza. If you screen grab the video and put it into your search engine, you'll see it's actually from a 2017 report about a makeup artist working on Palestinian films and with charities.
Yeah, and see, this is where they're mixing in some truth. The BBC's telling you this because everybody knows the Pallywood thing's real. Pallywood is like the professional propaganda arm of Hamas, and they make fake footage to try and fucking slag off the 4B2s all the time. Everybody knows that's a thing. We all are, Catherine, but don't worry, I'm nearly finished. I'm nearly done, Catherine. Tough it out. So, yeah, so this is where they start mixing in the shit they don't want you to know. They do fake it. They do fake it. That individual one about a makeup artist working on Palestinian films might be, but they do it. And everybody knows they do it. And the fucking makeup artist who's worked on whatever dog shit films they make has probably also worked on the propaganda films. We've all seen Palestinian Mickey Mouse, haven't we? You've all seen Palestinian Mickey Mouse, where it's like, you know, happy, jolly music, Mickey Mouse, and then you read the subtitles and it's like, yeah, fucking gas them all. It's like, yeah, it's hardcore propaganda in Palestine. So, yeah, they do make injuries up.
Be aware of crisis actor claims. There are lots of comments on videos of Israeli people taken hostage by Hamas or people who survived the attacks on October the 7th, suggesting they're crisis actors, people who've been paid to act out a tragedy, in this case because they think they're trying to frame Hamas. This is where context is really important. You can easily find out information from trusted sources about the civilians taken hostage or killed by Hamas, and testimony from their friends and family.
I love this when she says as well, you can easily find trusted sources, and then, oh, lo and behold, it's the fucking BBC. The trusted source, the BBC. Trusted source. Just even think that that's actually a sentence that anyone's going to say in this day and age. Trusted source. For 30 years, they covered up the fact that hundreds of thousands of little girls, children, got raped by swarthy foreign gentlemen, and sometimes murdered, sometimes branded, tortured, folded up like a deck chair above a fucking kebab shop. Hundreds of thousands. And the BBC lied about it the whole time. They always covered it up. They helped the government cover it up. They helped cover up for the bent coppers, the fucking proper, dodgy, horrible coppers who were getting kids to sniff cocaine off the fucking dicks. They were doing the lot, and the BBC was in on all of it. So this is the trusted source. Oh yeah, and Jimmy Savile, yeah, they were in on that as well. And statue of pedo strapped to the front of the fucking building. So this is the trusted source. Yeah, she is. She has been exposed. But no, she hasn't been sacked because the BBC don't care. If you know, the BBC are arrogant because they've had so much power for so long. They think they can just do whatever they want. They think they can lie like a hairy fucking egg, and Silicon Valley will just cover up anyone who points out that they're lying. So the BBC don't care. Everyone knows she's a proven liar, and they won't sack her because they think they control the fucking airwaves and the radio networks and the TV stations, and they do. But sensible people are aware of it. They don't need to fire them, though, because they still think they're arrogant. They still think they control the narrative.
You can also see how much their testimony matches up with other verified information. And as ever, don't believe everything in the comments. Think about how the post makes you feel.
Don't believe everything in the comments. There's another good bit of advice here. Don't believe everything in the comments. What? The part of the website where anybody can type anything, even completely unrelated to the news, and you're telling me I can't, but no, I'm not having that, Mariana. I always thought you could always trust the comments. When I'm reading a fucking football result, Middlesbrough 1, Leeds 0, and underneath the comments on YouTube says, hi, call 8+ 81654 for hot pussy action. I always thought that was 100% accurate, and that was definitely a hot woman in a fucking third world country who just wanted to suck me off. That's what I thought. What, are you telling me you can't trust random comments? I mean, there's only 9 billion randoms with access to the fucking internet. Surely you can always trust the comments. Fuck me. See what I'm saying? So they're telling you obvious shit to make this bollocks 2-minute puff piece. So knobheads will think the BBC is a trusted source. The fucking nest of pedos is a trusted source. Yeah. Well, is Bill Cosby a trusted source as well? Is he? Fucking hell. Who else is a trusted source? Ian Huntley. Go and get it. Put him on the telly. I trust him. He's got a likable face. Yeah, he's got a likable personality. He's bubbly. Put him on the fucking BBC reading the news. Jesus Christ.
Disinformation can play on our emotions and existing beliefs, which makes us less likely to think critically. Pause before you share. Just because a friend or someone you know has posted something, even if you think their intention is to spread awareness, it doesn't.
Is that the last one? That's the funniest one. Remember, just because someone you know says something doesn't mean it's true. Fuck off. I'm not having that. What? Every single person I've ever met doesn't always tell the truth 24 hours a day. Fucking hell. So when I was in school, and my mate Woodsy told me that the Queen knocked on his door one day when she was visiting York, and he opened it and she was stood there and she said, I really need a piss, Woodsy, let us in. And he let her in and she had a piss. And he said she fucking farted proper loudly and the whole house fucking stunk. Smelled like a badger had crawled up her ass and fucking died. Are you telling me that was a lie? I'm not having that. Woodsy wouldn't lie to me. No way. What? Every person I've ever met personally wasn't telling the truth all the fucking time. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. When my granddad told me he personally shot Adolf Hitler in the head with his own Luger on D-Day, don't tell me that don't tell me he was lying. I'm not having it.
Doesn't mean it's correct.
Oh yeah, that's the end, yeah. So that was the last piece of amazing advice. If you've ever met them in person, just be aware they can lie to you. Aldridge Pryor. Yeah, Aldridge Pryor. Aldridge. My mate Gazza in school told me he invented knickknacks. Yeah. He said prawn cocktail crisps. He invented prawn cocktail crisps in DT. And I always believed him. Mariana's dropping these fucking bombshells on me here. Can't believe it. My granddad didn't kill Hitler. Woodsy never met the Queen. And Gazza didn't invent prawn cocktail crisps. Well, fuck my life. Anyway, so that's brilliant, that, isn't it? Full-blown propaganda from a proven liar at a nest of paedophiles. We can call it there, can't we? We can end on that. Full-blown propaganda by a proven liar who works in a nest of paedophiles with a concrete 10-foot paedophile strapped to the front of the building. And a kids network who was on the kids network at the BBC? Philip Schofield, yeah, arse like a fucking clown's pocket. Philip Schofield, Jimmy Savile ran the kids network at the fucking BBC, and they're telling us, oh yeah, don't tell lies, don't tell lies. What? You're telling me that you're a bastion of truth and honesty when you had Philip Schofield in the broom cupboard with a fucking pawpaw from the Teletubbies fucking noshing him off? Gordon the Gopher was getting fucking ragged senseless in that poor gopher was getting buggered 6 days a week by Philip Schofield for decades, while Jimmy Savile fucking had the run of the going live floor every Saturday morning. Stuart Hall as well, forgot about him. Old Big Stu. And these are the people now in 2023, because they think everyone's daft and nobody can remember last fucking week. These people with a proven liar and a proven propagandist and a pedo strapped to the front of the building, and Jimmy Savile and Stuart Hall and fucking Gordon the Gopher getting rogered till he couldn't even all he could do was squeak. That was the noise it made. It used to make that squeaking noise when Philip stuck his cock in him, but after a couple of years, it was just like nothing. It was as baggy as the fucking entrance to a welly because of what Philip done to him, and I'll never forgive them for it. Right, anyway, we'll call it there. I've got a fucking sore throat. I was up late last night. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. You can all stop joining the members program because I passed 30 ages ago. So thanks for that. But don't take it out for another month because apparently you've got to do 30 days before Suzar fucking lashes me up and I get that tasty. He was. Honestly, he was, because he apparently did a lot of charity work for the Corps. I'm going to assume, though, that blokes who train in murder and death all day long are a bit too busy to, I don't know, put a covert reconnaissance on him and know what he was up to. But the BBC knew what he was up to. If he only went to the Lympston Commando Training Centre once or twice every fucking 5 years and said hello and walked around for a bit, yeah, then I don't think you can blame us for him fiddling all the fucking kids, can you? When I passed out of basic training, the room that you did your pass out parade in was called the Savile Room, named after Jimmy. However, they did rename it, and it is now the Gary Glitter Lounge. So at least we got rid of that one. Yeah, we covered that up nicely quick. And now it's fine. It's fine. Now we all just go for a pint in the Gary Glitter Lounge. And what else have we got? They've got the Ian Huntley gym and the Harold Shipman classroom. And now everyone's forgot about it. So it's fine. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the membership shit, because I want to rob YouTube blind. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll make some shit next week. All right. See you all soon. Have a good weekend. Go and have a drink. You earned it. You earned it. See you soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.